When I'm out giving public speeches, there's one question that always comes up. People ask me, with everything you know today, what would you say to yourself lying there in the hospital bed right after you broke your neck 7 years ago? What advice would you give yourself? And the thing is, I know exactly what I would say if I had the chance, but it's always been a hypothetical question. Until now. Thanks to the TEDx team here at Jönköping University, I now have access to some groundbreaking technology. A phone that allows you to call back in time. It's true. To call back in time. So finally, I have the opportunity to say all those things to myself. And I'm really going to need your moral support doing this. I hope it works. Cross your fingers, because I can't. Okay. TEDx team, make the call. Of course I'm not picking up. That's classic me.
Hi, you reached Tobias Forsberg. I'm sorry I can't take your call right now. Please leave a message after the beep.
Hi. I know this sounds absolutely crazy. You probably recognize the voice. It's me, calling from the future. Don't ask how, just listen. Maybe the only way you believe me is if I tell you something only you would know. Do you remember Mom's favorite lamp? The one that broke? The ugly one in the living room? You blamed your sister, but I know it was you playing soccer inside. Yeah. And you're probably screaming right now, wondering why I didn't call you the night before the game. Why I didn't stop you before that shift. Why I didn't just say, don't skate towards that puck. But this call is about changing what happened. Me, on this side of the line, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I know where you are, in the hospital. Just woke up after 6 days in a medical induced coma. Received the news. Spinal cord injury. Paralyzed from chest down. I know it's a lot to take in. And it doesn't even feel real yet. You're just lying there, trying to make sense of it all. You're not sad, angry, or even hopeless. Just living in denial. Emptiness. It's not often you can say it and actually mean it, but I know exactly how you feel. You're pushing every emotion away, but I know you're scared. You're wondering what life's gonna look like from here. People around you keep saying everything will be alright. And you doubt that, I understand, because right now it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what anyone says. What matters is this. You're not going through this alone. One thing I can tell you right away, sooner or later you're going to do it anyway. You're going to ask yourself, over and over again, why did this happen to me? You're going to look for someone to blame, like we always do when something shit happens in life. Anyone, the world, the doctors, yourself. But let me save you some time. You probably never heard of Murphy's Law. I have, because I read books now. Murphy's Law says, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And Murphy was right. Life is unpredictable. It wasn't your fault. No one to blame, it was just life. And sometimes life sucks. I think we can all agree with that. Now you're saying Murphy this and Murphy that. I hear you. Let me try this instead. You spent your whole life in a world where hockey players are expected to be tough. Don't show any fear, any pain. Don't talk about feelings. You could play with a broken rib, but you can never admit to a broken heart. That's the truth. And you were always good at that, strong and silent. But it's time to put that guy on a bench for a while. Because you know what? This might come as a surprise for you. Acceptance doesn't come from pushing emotions away. It comes from letting yourself feel, processing what hurts, and don't rush it. It may take weeks, months, even years, who knows. But when you find that acceptance, and you will, that's the moment you'll be ready to move forward. And while doing that, moving forward, do you think the expectation on you still are going to be high like you used to? No. Now they're going to be too low. And it doesn't matter if it's because some people feel sorry for you, others want to protect you because they know what you've been through. Either way, it comes from kindness. But that's not a reason to get too easily satisfied, to just hang in there or get through the day. That's not enough. You see, it's not just about surviving, it's about actually living. Let me give you another hockey reference. It's probably the only language you understand right now. Imagine this. You're on the ice, you have a breakaway. You skate across the blue line, and then you just fire the puck straight over the glass. And you hear the coach, "Great shot, Tobias." You even give yourself a little pat on the shoulder. Yeah, not bad. Come on. And it's not about missing the shot. That's not the point. It's about both you and others expecting more from you. And how do you make that happen? I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I knew, but I don't. I talked about this with my brother. Our brother. And he's pretty smart with his psychological degree and all. I probably shouldn't talk about the future. Well, your future, my past. Anyway, as always, he gave good advice explaining that we need to take responsibility for our own expectations. And that we never really know if they're too high or too low unless we stop during the process and reflect. But the thing that stuck with me the most was when he told me about the old friend of his. This friend had gone his whole life only eating red bell peppers. Only the red ones. Never trying the green or the yellow ones. No. Because he was afraid he was going to like them more. Could that be what it's all about? We all say we want change, but deep down we also want to stay in our comfort zone. The place that feels safe. Even if we sometimes know we're in a bad place. I don't know. Maybe I'll call you in a few years and you tell me. Like I'm supposed to have all the answers. Talking to myself is just as weird as I imagine. On the other hand, I was kind of expecting a conversation here, not a monologue. But since I'm already here doing it, I might as well step out of my comfort zone and be 100% honest. And this may sound a bit harsh, but it's only because I know you can take it. People will say you're strong and inspiration. And that's true in some ways, but it's also true that you hold yourself back. There are moments when you take the easy way out, and sometimes, honestly, sometimes you're just lazy. When things get tough, don't avoid them, face them, try. And most importantly, don't be too hard on yourself when you fail, because you will fail, and that's okay. And I know it's easy when it feels like you're barely making any progress to just give up. To say screw it. To lay down on the couch and binge 10 episodes of Game of Thrones. And by the way, you don't need to watch that last season. Absolutely terrible. Spoiler alert. Khaleesi goes crazy. Jon kills her. And the cripple boy becomes the king. Relax, I said spoiler alert. But that's what we do sometimes. We hide, we distract ourselves. And there's so many ways to keep our minds busy so we don't have to think or feel or face what's real. You're afraid to fail, so instead you do nothing. Do you remember when you were a kid and tried to learn how to ride a unicycle? A bike with one wheel. It's definitely easier with two. I don't even know why I wanted to learn in the first place. Somebody probably told you couldn't, and that was enough. You tried, you fell. But this isn't about falling and getting back up. It's about why you finally learned to ride that thing. Not because what anyone said, because you decided you were going to do it. Simple as that. I don't even think it was about that unicycle. It was about proving to yourself that you could. And that's the mindset you're going to need. And trust me, I'll be sitting on your shoulder, yelling in your ear, keep moving forward. And the funny part, after learning, I don't think you ever rode the thing again. Could have joined the circus. Lost opportunities. Perhaps that's the real lesson here. And one thing I wish I believed in more. If there's one thing, only one thing you should remember from this crazy phone call, it is to never let anyone else decide what your limits are. That's up to you. And I know it's hard to believe right now, but one day you see past all the pain and the tears, and you realize how much you have to be thankful for. How lucky you are. And you probably end up doing things you can't even imagine right now. Maybe you discover new places you've never seen before. Maybe in one way or another, you find your way back to your passion. Some things might have changed, but the important ones will still be there, close to you. Maybe you even find out if love really conquers all. And whatever path you choose, you're going to learn so many new things along the way. And wouldn't it be awesome if you could use some of those new things, perspectives, to maybe give something back? Again, that's up to you. And I'm not worried. You're going to figure it out. I'm not even sure if this message will ever reach you or if it's just floating around somewhere in deep space. But somehow I really believe it did. And that's the reason I became the person I am today. Might be foolish. But you know what? Just being able to share this with with an open heart and a broken heart has been a victory in itself. And before I go, I just want you to know everything will be alright. Oh, and one more thing. There are about 500 people listening to this right now. And I really hope they'd like to give you a big round of applause because you deserve it. Goodbye. Thank you very much.